guys, so in today's video I'm going to be doing something a little different, and basically I'm going to be discussing a topic that literally nobody has like made a video about or anything, and that is racism in the doll community, specifically the American Girl community, more specifically AGIG. The specific instances I'm going to be talking about I have seen or have happened on Instagram, so that's what I'm going to be discussing today. I think this is so important. Not enough people are talking about it and not enough is being done about it, so I just want to use my platform and kind of discuss a few things. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. I have a few issues that I want to discuss, and if I'm looking over to the side, it's because my phone is like over here and I have notes on. The first thing that I kind of want to discuss, question, bring light to, whatever, is when there's instances of racism or somebody is being racist specifically to someone in the doll community who's black, a black doll, whatever the case may be. Why are those issues covered either less or for a brief period of time in comparison to issues of like homophobia and transphobia? Why? I really want everybody to just take a second and like think, like, why is that? Because we're all humans, so you'd think if you're standing against two issues, homophobia and transphobia are like the other issues that happen often on AGIG, so like I'm using those as an example. They're covered so much more and for a lengthy period of time in comparison to racism. Why is that covered? Less people talking about it, and why is the amount in which people talk about these issues shorter than other issues? I'm not saying that you have to like drag it on, but like there's an uneven field here. I've been thinking to myself for a while, like, why is that the case? Because I know some people would say, oh, well, it's a complicated issue. Nothing about the rights of humans and their safety, them being treated a certain way, nothing about that is complicated. You either are against it or you're for it. And if you're against it, I just don't understand, like, if people don't agree with it and they're against it, why aren't more people standing up about it? Well, kind of going along with my first point is that something that I've noticed is that creators of color, specifically, again, black creators on AGIG, we're kind of left to fend for ourselves, again, in these instances of racism. People just want to move on quickly, and often either our voices are not heard whatsoever, or our voices are muted because other people, non-people of color specifically, speak over us. I understand, and it's great if you're like an advocate, you want to like help people, you want to like speak out against racism as a non-person of color, and that's fine, but there are sometimes instances where we're completely blocked out. We're being talked over, and that's not in every instance, but it has happened. I feel like people need to be aware of it and try not to like mute black voices or mute other voices of color when you are not a person of color. While you can stand up and help and advocate, it's just important to like realize. I feel like this topic is kind of interesting specifically because I had a conversation probably like 2 years ago with another AGIGer who was a white collector, and even she was saying like there's instances where people are standing up for people of color, but it's kind of like the, I think she called it like the white savior complex. Now, I haven't seen that specific kind of issue recently, but that was like maybe 2 years ago. I think the other part of this that's very important, and I have it in my notes and I almost forgot it, just because you are a white person with a black friend, a black half sibling or something, black step sibling, and this like baffled my mind. This person literally, like, I was trying to, something happened on AGIG, I don't know, and I was just kind of telling this person like, oh, you know, because I knew they were a white creator, and I was like, oh, well, you know, you kind of have to be careful saying this, or like, this is how it really is. They were like, oh, well, I have a black half sibling, so I know these things. But like, you're not experiencing it up front. And again, they were telling me as a black person how it was to be black only because they have a black half sibling. I'm not really sure if that qualifies you to tell me I'm wrong about being the race that I am. Like, you guys see how like it just doesn't make sense? Another issue that doesn't have to do with the black community, I can't say in this instance that it was just white collectors, because there was an issue where it was a black person who was talking all this stuff about Moana's skin tone was weird and it was orange and she just looked unnatural. And you have to keep in mind that it is not impossible, and it's 100% possible for people of Asian descent in certain areas to have that skin tone that Moana has. People were like, oh my gosh, people in AGIG, not everybody, but there were like a select few people who were like pointing this out and saying it looks awful. People were even kind of correcting people like, hey, she's supposed to look like this and this is why, and they were just not hearing it. You have to consider that when American Girl makes a doll, specifically a doll of color, whether it's Moana, whether it's Yvette, you have to think in your head that this doll might actually look like people who exist. People don't think that because they're like, oh, it's just a doll. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. It wasn't anything to like attack people or make people feel bad. It was mostly just a video that I felt like needed to be discussed because not enough people, like there are a few people I follow who actually like advocate, who are also people of color, but it just seems like we're the only ones advocating for ourselves, and at the end of the day that is something that you have to do. But it's just kind of sad that on AGIG people always talk about, oh, it's a community for everybody who collects American Girl dolls, but then you feel like some groups are more focused on when like hate happens than others, and it's just weird because it shouldn't be like that, and nothing about it is complicated. At the end of the day, I think all of us just want to do one thing, and that's collect American Girl dolls, but it should be a safe space for everybody, and everybody should feel included, and I feel like sometimes that just kind of doesn't happen. But yeah, this video was in no way to like attack anybody or make anybody feel bad. It's more of just bringing more awareness to an issue. So make sure to comment down below anything that you guys have noticed, whether it's on AGIG, maybe even Facebook groups, I don't really know. Definitely comment down below what you guys think. Also be very careful in the comments as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Also make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date when I post a new video every Friday. Also make sure to follow me on AGIG so you can see pictures of some of my dolls, including Iris in this adorable outfit. So yeah, bye guys.